This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness podcast to help others in their fitness journey. All possible.
It's time to wake up. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. This is Loving Life Fitness. I'm Angela Grayson, a personal trainer, a group fitness instructor, and a yoga instructor. So today on Loving Life Fitness, we have a guest, Krissy Sieple, and she is an occupational therapist who is in charge of an adaptive sports program. And we're going to talk to her, ask her some questions, and get this program hopefully a little more exposed out there so that more people can participate and benefit from this great program. So hi, Krissy. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. We're going to be talking about that everything that you do for others. It's an amazing program. The way I came in contact with Krissy is an interesting story. Somebody that I train, Kristen, she is involved in the adaptive sports program, and I see the wonderful things that it's doing for her health and fitness and her happiness. So, Krissy, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about you and how this all started, or how you started. Why did you get involved in occupational therapy that has led you up to this point in time?
I have been a therapist for 15 years. I started out working with peds. I loved that, and I thought I was going to stay there forever. Did not. I transitioned to adults. I loved that as well. I then transitioned over to Brooks Rehab 5 years ago. I worked in the inpatient unit over at Halifax for 4 years. And then a year ago, this opportunity in adaptive sports opened its wings to me. My vice president at the time had told me about this position and said, Krissy, I think you'd be great in it. So I applied and I got it. I absolutely fell in love with it. And this is where I've been for the last year. So when I first came to Brooks 5 years ago, I had been exposed to adaptive sports. I volunteered with the adaptive surfing event that we do. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I cried on and off the entire day, just seeing how we were able to get people onto surfboards that had never been able to get onto the beach due to limited access, getting them into the water and participants being able to feel the water in the sand that they hadn't been able to feel or see or even touch in, oh my God, their entire life, or in, again, years and years and years, was just so emotional and humbling. I continued to volunteer at different events throughout my 4 years before taking over the program. When, like I said, a year ago, when the opportunity approached itself to me, I jumped on it, and here I am.
So, Krissy, for those who don't really understand what adaptive sports is, can we delve a little bit into what adaptive sport is and who can participate in these adaptive sports?
My program is adaptive sports and recreation. Sometimes I feel like the name adaptive sports kind of scares some people away. That sounds like, oh, we're just going to be doing like intense sports. It sounds like more team sports. And we do have a more competitive rowing team, like on water rowing. We are getting ready to go to Sarasota at the the middle of August to race in a regatta. So that's our more team sport that we have. But the rest of our sports are more recreational, fun, social, just getting you back out and being active. Currently, our activities that I have Tai Chi every Monday. We row on the water 3 days a week. So we row Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. We do erg rowing on the row machines Wednesdays. Thursday, we do yoga. Friday, we alternate between billiards and bowling. Oh, I forgot to mention Tuesday, starting again back in the fall, Tuesday evenings, we do a game night. So we rotate between bocce ball, croquet, shuffleboard, and horseshoes. And then once a month we cycle, once a month we fish. Over the summer months we surf. During the spring and the fall we kayak. And in all of these activities, we're able to adapt any adaptations that you might need. So if you've had a stroke, brain injury, if you've had MS, if you have weakness on one side or the other, we can adapt all of this to meet you where you currently are at. If you've had a hip surgery, a knee surgery, if you've had arthritis, if you are just deconditioned after, I don't know if you've had like just medically complex issues going on, you've recently been out of the hospital, or you're recovering from COVID or pneumonia or anything like that. These are all qualifications that could get you into my program. The best thing I think about our program is it's a completely free program. So nobody pays anything to participate in this. It's open to anybody in the community. You don't have to give me your insurance information. You don't need a doctor referral. You just have to show up. We provide all the equipment. We provide everything. You just show up and come out and have fun.
That is so amazing. The first time I heard about the adaptive sports and recreation, I just couldn't even imagine how a person on a wheelchair could go surfing, let alone get on the beach. And it amazes me how the equipment that you all have has been adapted along with the many volunteers that you have that show up at all these events to help you with the people that want to participate. So that equipment that is, for instance, the wheelchairs that go on the sand, the surfboards, water skiing. I heard you took, Kristen, water skiing, and I saw the video of somebody water skiing. Just the way you're able to get the equipment adapted for these people and to get the volunteers who could be there and make sure that everybody is safe in the water and nothing goes wrong. It is truly amazing. Tell me a little bit more about the program and how it's financed, because of course, all this special equipment costs money to get everything to where the event is going to be. So how does all that work?
We are a non-for-profit organization, and we are completely based off of donors, our own foundation. We are free of charge that way. Brooks funds some of it ourselves. Halifax donates some as well. And then we are based off of other donors in the community and private donors as well. So that's how everything is funded. Our surfing and kayaking events, we partner with other nonprofits. So we're joint ventures for those two programs. So they bring out the volunteers and equipment, and we bring out, that's where my background is, as therapy comes in. I bring out the therapy and transfer and making the recommendations as far as which adaptations would be appropriate for everybody. So we kind of partner in that aspect of making the surfing and kayaking work that way. That's our partnership there.
That's great. Just a lot of people and organizations coming together to help those in need.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Tell me a little bit also about the volunteers that you do have show up. Like I said, I've seen videos, and there's many volunteers to make sure that this all goes smoothly and safely. Somebody listening to the show today might want to be a volunteer to help your organization. Are there qualifications?
No, honestly, we just always are needing volunteers to come out and help us. In particular, for the surfing volunteers, you do come out the day of surfing for training, and you will get trained on how to properly transfer our participants on and off the boards and get them in and out of the chairs if they're in wheelchairs, and then how to get them in the water safely. But then as far as any of our other events, like our cycling and rowing, you would just contact with me, and then I would get with you as to getting to the event, and then I would give you all of the training as far as if you needed to do any transfer training and any of the other helping with moving the shells, the rowing shells, or
all the events,
all the
I'm
events.
sure
Yeah.
you need volunteers for.
Yeah, it's just me. I'm a one-woman show.
What?
It is just me. I
Mm.
run it all.
Okay, so the more help, the
The
better.
more help, the better.
Almost every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Yes. Yeah.
Every day.
Do you know if they have this sort of a program in other places in our country?
I know here in Florida, it's just us. Brooks Adaptive Sports started in Jacksonville. So we have our bigger location up in Jacksonville. They have been running their adaptive sports program for 16 years up there. Down here in Daytona, we've been here 7 years. So we're newer, we're growing rapidly. The next closest adaptive sports program that I'm aware of is in Shepherd Center, which is in Atlanta. Yeah, there's not very many of us.
Yeah, so it would be wonderful if others listening to this show in other states of our wonderful nation could put together a program like this for people in their area. And I'm sure, Krissy, that you wouldn't mind people contacting you from other places and talking to you about your program so that maybe we could get a program off the ground also, because like I said before, I see what this has done for Kristen. And I would like for you to talk a little bit about that, the changes and differences that you see in people after getting involved in your program, not only physically, but emotionally.
Yes, that is a huge aspect of our program. Of course, we always want to promote the physical aspect of our program. We all know physical activity is great for you. And as a therapist, I always want to promote getting physically active, but we often forget about the social aspect and the emotional aspect. We are social beings. We're meant to be interacting with others. And that is a big thing that I try to tell new participants as they're coming into my program. Is a lot of times they're very anxious and they're apprehensive to try my activities. They're nervous. They're in a very vulnerable spot in their life and they don't want to come out of their home. I'll use an example of one of my participants who has lost a limb. And that's a very, I would imagine, I don't know from personal experience, but a very, I guess the most appropriate word is vulnerable thing for her to come out of her home and expose herself like that. To ask her to come to some of my events is very uncomfortable. She was very reluctant and felt all eyes were on her, which they weren't, but that was just how she was feeling. She gradually would start coming to my things and feeling more comfortable. And now she is literally at pretty much every single event. She has now this morning got into her very first single rowing shell, rowed this morning all by herself, is going to be coming to Sarasota with us. So just seeing her go from kind of a secluded person to now she's coming to a regatta in Sarasota where there's going to be thousands of people. It's an international regatta. So people from all over the world are going to be in Sarasota rowing. It's not just an impaired rowers regatta. It's an inclusive regatta. So there will be rowers of all abilities will be there. So just to see the change in that has just spoke to me. She came out once a year in March. We do a challenge mile where we just celebrate all victories for our participants. So she came out to that and she walked it with her family, which was amazing. And she wore her tutu and her daughter wore a tutu. And it was just a great thing to see her come out to that and not feel like, you know, oh my gosh, Krissy, I can't do this. Everyone's going to be looking. And her goal for this coming March is I'm going to walk it without my crutches. So it's just very heartwarming to see again. Yeah, great. Physically, you're doing phenomenal, but it's more the emotional, social aspect of this has made great impacts on your life as well. And of course, Kristen has come out as well to a lot of things.
And the strength that a person finds within themselves that they thought that they didn't have just sets them apart from everybody else. We think we're strong inside, but then we tend to doubt ourselves about doing different adventurous things in our life, and gathering the strength together to go ahead and pursue something like this is amazing. And then once you do, you gain the confidence inside and out to do more things in your life that make you happy, ultimately.
Yeah, I always tell everybody we're one big family in the adaptive sports world. We're a family. We're a giant family here. We love each other. We support each other. We laugh with each other. We cry with each other. We celebrate each victory with each other. At bowling, everybody's high-fiving and clapping and laughing. And it's the greatest. I tell everybody I have the greatest job in the entire world. I thought being a bedside therapist was the greatest job. And it is an amazing job until I took on this job. And I was like, oh, no, this is the greatest job ever. Like I can't sometimes even believe that this is what I get to do every day, because it's amazing. It's just a whole different world.
It's rewarding. It's heartwarming. You're helping so many people in so many ways, Krissy.
Participants, Krissy, you're giving me my life back. And I'm like, but I'm not. You're doing it. You're doing everything. But I never thought I would be doing this again. Well, why not? Why not? Yes, you can. There's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that you can't do. Indoor skydive? Sure, let's do it. We'll do it. There's nothing we cannot do. And that's what I think the most amazing thing about adaptive sports is there's nothing we cannot do. We did pickleball, and my participants were like, we can't play pickleball. And I said, why not? Tell me why. You give me a reason why, and I'll hear you out, but yes, we can. So they were shocked when we played. But I'm in a wheelchair. Okay, so what? We can do it. It might look different, but we're going to do it. And we did. So I think that's the biggest, another big reason I love this job too, is that things look different to us, but we still can do it, and we're still gonna do it. And I'm not gonna let anybody tell me or my participants that we're not gonna be able to do something, because we are gonna do it. We're just gonna get it done.
I see all the different sports that you have people doing, and I wonder why I have never surfed, why I have never water skied. Here I'm perfectly able-bodied, and what's my excuse? That's what I said to Kristen. I said, here you are out there surfing. I've never been on a surfboard. Look at you go. It makes me think, why aren't I doing these things?
I know. Every time I'm like, guys, you want to try sled hockey? They're like, okay. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. What do you want to try next?
You get more yeses than no's.
I do.
Yes.
And then the insurance company, our liability company is like, I'm like, oh, we're just going to try it.
Tell me, Krissy, what's in your future? Are you going to continue down this path? Do you have anything else going in your mind?
We are going to continue to grow. When I took over this job last April, we had about 85 people in the program. Right now we have 185. So we're growing really quickly, which is amazing. My vision is to just keep growing this program and bringing more awareness so we can continue to offer these amazing programs. I want to hear from our community as to what the needs are, what people are looking for, and what they want from us. Because I can't serve a community if I don't know what they want. So I know what's working currently, but I also need to know what else my participants want. So I know what they currently like, but I know for next year, we're going to do golf. We're going to add some more pickleball days. We're going to add more water ski.
Let me ask you this. I saw that you had written down that not only adaptive participants allowed to come, but also you extend the invitation to caregivers and family members.
Yes.
Are they there to help, or can they participate in events?
Both.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They can do both.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that's a pretty important aspect because let's say somebody does feel vulnerable or a little afraid if they're not used to being in the water and want to go surfing, that it's important to have a family member there that maybe wants to participate or a caregiver that they know very well to help them feel more comfortable in the situation.
Yes, that's why we want to encourage it to be open for family members and caregivers as well. It's not just for participants only. And then we have the opposite where we do want to make sure that we are allowing, if caregivers want some time, to have a break too, because we do want to be conscientious of caregivers not getting burned out as well. So we do want to, sometimes caregivers need a little bit of a break, then they can have a break as well. We want to have it either way, but we want, we're here for whatever needs need to be met. That's what we're here for.
Yes, because caregivers do get overwhelmed, overburdened. It's a very tiring job, whether you're doing it because it's your career or whether you're doing it for a family member. Caregivers definitely need a break. And that's awesome that they have the choice of what to do on different days, different situations, different activities. Absolutely. If any listeners out there want to have this kind of a program in your area, down below, I will have Krissy's information at Brooks Rehab so you can get a hold of her and talk to her about her program, what she does, and how it's all pulled together. I think it is a wonderful extension of a rehab organization to not only be helping people physically get stronger and better, but also to get them out into the world so that they can do things that they love to do, have a smile on their face, and live their best life as best as they possibly can. Why not? So, Krissy, what would you like to leave our listeners with? Is there something else that you'd like to say to give them something to think about or something to do if they know of a person who can benefit from this program?
I think if you know someone who could benefit from our program, come out. Even if you don't try it for the first time, just come out and watch. Just see it. That's what I tell everybody. Just come see it. I think if you just watch one event for one time, you're going to like what you see and you're going to want to come. And then you're going to want to participate. It sounds maybe a little intimidating, but it is not. It's the greatest thing ever.
It's free.
And it's free. You can't beat free. I eat, breathe, sleep, adaptive sports. And I'm not like an athletic person to begin with, but this is all I can think about. I adore this job in this position, and it is my passion, and it's my heart and my soul. And I absolutely adore every single participant that I have. I have a place in my heart for every single person in my program. I just think we can touch everybody's life. Everybody has a place here with us. Come give us a try.
I have a 95-year-old mother who says that you have to move every day. You have to get up and move. My mom still at 95 years old, no matter how difficult it is to get up and move, to get up and do something in the kitchen, to get up and get dressed, get up, make her bed, go through her daily routines, no matter how hard it is, she does it. Because, Krissy, tell us how important movement is in the body, no matter where we are at in our lives.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't move, then you're not going to progress anywhere. Yeah, as soon as you stop moving, you're done. You have to continue moving.
Powerful words.
You have to.
As an occupational therapist, simply being able to take your arm and be able to brush your hair, to be able to put one foot in front of the other, to walk from one side of the house to the other, just simple movement. And if we don't get up and move every day, those muscles just don't want to work anymore the way they did before. How long does it take for muscles to start losing strength when we don't move?
Very quickly. Wait, one day in bed, you lose 3 to 5 days of exercise.
And isn't it like 2 weeks of not having any kind of exercise, your muscles just
atrophy? Yeah, you start to shrink them.
And how long does it take to build that muscle back?
Oh, now I don't remember. School was so long ago.
Quite a while.
Quite a while.
Doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen overnight. No, ma'am.
Not like the atrophy when we stop moving.
No.
So if we keep moving on a daily basis, that alone is helping to strengthen our bodies, just doing everyday normal activities. And anything you can do beyond that, just like when you go to physical therapy, simply using bands, light weights, a lot of repetitions, that's going to help strengthen the muscles. And then when we get involved in sports, no matter what kind of sport it is, we help our bodies even more, which is also important when we have any kind of a disability also. If you have a loss of using one of your limbs, you need to keep the other parts of your body stronger to help that one limb. Or if you have problems with your legs, you need to keep your upper body strong so that you can continue to do things.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add, Krissy? Anything else you'd like to talk about here with your program? I see a poster in back of you.
Yes.
Krissy's Peace.
That's a poster that my participants, they had made for me. They had a surprise birthday party for me, and they had that banner made for me.
Very nice. Love it.
So I hung it in my office.
I love the backdrop.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right, everybody. So down in, like I said before, down below in the show notes, you will be able to find all of Krissy's information so that you can contact her, whether you'd like to be a volunteer, whether you'd like to help to get together an adaptive sports and recreation program in your area, or whether you'd like to be involved in any one of the recreational activities. One thing I love about Krissy's program is there are so many different things. If you don't like to bowl, maybe you'd like to go bicycle riding. If you don't want to go bicycle riding, maybe you want to go fishing, rowing, surfing, skiing, so many different things. And like she said before, they're coming up with new things all the time. I guess as long as there is an interest, that they will try to go ahead and get a program together. The more people that are involved in the program, the more they can do. So please reach out to Krissy and get involved, get moving so that you can live your best life. Thank you, Krissy, so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. I know that our conversation is going to bring value to listeners out there who want to get involved or know of somebody that could benefit from this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me so much.
This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness Podcast to help others in their fitness journey. All possible.
It's time to wake up. Here we go.